Tell me your first and last name and spell it.
Sari Domingues, SaриDomingues.
What is your current title and what are you running for?
I am running for State Assembly District 37, and I'm currently retired.
So, Sari, why are you running for office?
I'm running because I started paying attention to things that are happening in our community, in the state, in the country. And I really saw a significant change, and it wasn't a good change. It's almost been a very negative change, a different change. So when I started looking into it, I started seeing lots of things, bills that have been passed and in our legislative, and I thought a lot of these bills, I think, were a little bit detrimental, and so I'd like to see if we can't stop it from continuing and maybe even correct it some.
Okay, make it a zero because this will be in the beginning. Yeah, for my background, my information. Go ahead.
Okay, I was a business analyst, actually an ERP business analyst, which is Enterprise Resource Planning business analyst.
Sari, what are some of your greatest accomplishments?
Well, I think my greatest accomplishment were my children. I have three boys, and they are now grown. My oldest is 49, and my youngest is 40. And I feel that that was the most wonderful time in my life as being a mother. But my husband and I have raised them to be responsible young men, and they have grown up to do great things and great careers. And their children, my grandchildren, are just wonderful. And I think it all stems down from one handing it down to the next generation. Another thing I'm very uh, proud of is I had achievements that I had goals in my life, and I've achieved my goals. I wanted to get a master's degree, which I ended up getting my bachelor's in business management, my master's in organizational leadership. But my career, I ended up being a business analyst, taking care of a database, working with multiple levels of people, doing the job I wanted. So I retired doing the job that was my dream job and accomplished so many goals. But I couldn't have done it without my husband and my family's support.
What do you believe the community needs most right now?
Well, I think the community really needs to come together and really see what's important to make it prosper. We're dealing with some hard times right now. Our economy is not very good. Our safety, there's some things to worry about. And also the education, our public schools, I've been finding are lacking as far as educating the children to get to this, to learn where they should be at the level they should be learning at. So there's a lot of work I think that we can help to improve our community. But definitely the answer is to bring ourselves together so that we all can understand what we're all about. And a lot of the laws that we make at the legislative state level affects our communities down here and throughout California. So I'm hoping as I go up there, I can then create bills that will be prosperous and really help us with our communities and help us with these issues that we're seeing now.
What do you want voters to know about you?
I want them to know that I'm a very serious businesswoman and that I really love our community. I was born and raised here. My family's been here in California for many generations, and that I also am very capable of making things happen. I'm a hard worker. My job before, I had to be had timelines I had to meet. I met those timelines. I had to project manage. I had to problem solve. And these are things I love doing. So I think when I get up at the state, I'll have those skills to help me to produce some good bills that will help our state.
If elected, what are some of the main projects you plan to pursue?
Well, I definitely, the areas that I'm very concerned about, even though there's a lot of areas, I've been finding many things that people have been talking to me about that their concerns are, that array. Um, some of the big things is our economy. I really feel that our state has created this bad economy. We've had so many hundreds of thousands of people leave our state. Well, that was $1 billion in revenue we're losing. And as people keep leaving, and big businesses, you know, Elon Musk just left because of the bill 1955 that was passed, which I don't agree on, and that they passed that bill. That bill was not a good bill because it separates children and parents, and that's just wrong. But he left, Chevron's left, and they're shutting down our oil. They're putting in regulations, and that's a revenue. We forget that all these other things are revenues for our state. So we need to keep them flourishing to create the revenue, because once they're all gone, and now we're paying higher prices because there's less oils, we're paying higher prices because there's not enough revenue. And so they try then to go after our taxes, and we can only be taxed so much. So I'd like to sit and work on creating more revenue for our state through businesses and getting people to come back. And if you get more businesses and less regulation, you can see the prices can go down so that people then can afford things again.
And anything else that you would like to share?
Well, I'm also concerned also about our homeless, because we do have a homeless population. You know, I grew up here, and when I grew up, we never locked our doors. We as children would get on our bikes and we would ride all over and gather with other kids and play baseball in the street. And we wouldn't even come home till dinner time. And then sometimes we'd go out until at night and then come back in when the lights went off. Um, and now my grandchildren can't do that. I mean, even to let them run around in the front yard to play, I'd have to watch them. You have to watch your children when you're at a park. They just can't go and play anymore. And something's wrong with that. How did we get here? We had no homeless when I grew up. How did we get here? We didn't have people stealing grocery items or stealing things and filling their cart up and running. I mean, I witnessed that myself, somebody taking things right out of the store. And it's not healthy, because when stores lose revenue, either they shut down or they come after us to higher their prices. So it's not a win-win situation. So I'm really passionate about these things that have happened, because I'd like to bring back California the way we grew up, to let my grandchildren be able to grow up in a more freer society where they don't have to worry about crime or worry about bad things happening to them.